Mhm.
Welcome to Bon Jovi Discussions. Today I have my buddy Matt, all the way from Calgary. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. Good to be here.
You staying safe and everything?
Oh yeah.
Good, good, good. So today we are going to talk about this beauty right here, the
Hmm.
the debut album. Truly an underrated album. Obviously, John hates it, but us, the diehard fans, we truly love this album very much.
Hmm.
So we're going to talk about it today. Obviously, it was the debut album, first album released on January 21st, 1984. Uh, so, to kind of give an overview about how the band came together, uh, John had a single called Runaway, and he took it to a DJ station, WAPP, and begged him to play. There was no secretary, so he was able to go in right into the DJ by luck. And the DJ played it, and they put it on a homegrown record for WAPP, and it became this huge hit. And John didn't have a band yet, and so quickly he got a record deal, and he had to find a band, and he got the whole band together. And so the band is actually signed under him. So that's kind of unique. Um, so the album was produced by Tony Bon Jovi, who worked at the power station where John worked, and Lance Quinn. It was recorded at Avatar Studios in New York City. And it's actually the shortest album in the band's history. There's only 9 songs on here. As I said, John hates it. We love it. Um, the album cover. It is so weird. I think this is probably like the weird. It's cool and it works, but it's so weird because it makes no sense. John's in the middle of the street, and then you had this random lady just standing there in the street,
Yeah. It's
and then the whole band doesn't even get to be on the cover. They're on the back.
oh, there they are.
Yeah, I think this would have been a really cool album cover too. This right here.
Yeah, they look like a death metal band in that picture. I gotta admit. Like, look at all those
Yeah,
gauntlets they're wearing.
that's true. So, but I mean, this is definitely Bon Jovi today. John on the cover, and then the band somewhere else. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. So overall, what's your take on the album overall?
You know what? It's one that I definitely I don't listen. Okay, it's one of okay. My relationship with this album is that when I first listened to this album like 10 years ago, the songs I loved back then, I don't like now, and the songs I didn't like back then, I like now. It's really weird. Except
Yeah,
Runaway has been consistent throughout. I've always loved that song.
isn't it funny how songs grow on you over time?
Yeah.
I always, there's a lot like these days. Album is a perfect example. Not to tear away from the debut album here,
Right.
but when I was a kid, I got These Days. I couldn't relate to the album. I thought it was a lot of sadness and depression, and
Mhm.
just it wasn't fun. Something for the Pain was a fun song, but other than that, I couldn't get into it as a kid. I became an adult, and I could actually relate to the whole album. So it's amazing how songs can kind of grow on you, even
Yeah.
even just songs that you like and don't like.
Mhm.
But what I love about this album, obviously, the band was trying to find their sound, and so there's a lot of different kind of sounds in here and techniques that they do. Uh, I really like the band's backup vocals as well on this album, especially in the choruses. There's a lot of backup vocals, which is great.
Mhm.
Um, and I think the two players that really shine on this album are Richie and David.
Indeed.
Rich is very guitar driven on this album, and you get a lot of loud, heavier guitar. Back in 1984, nowadays it's probably considered soft rock, but back in the 80s, and this would have been considered hard rock. I think the guitar really added that hard rock sound to the band.
Mhm. Although don't sell it short, like this stuff is pretty heavy compared to like a lot of the pop rock bands that are out these days. Like this will like there's some songs on here that are almost metal, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I said, I think David also shines too. The way he plays on piano. And I'll talk about the songs in a little
Mhm.
bit. But I think David really kind of shines. And you have to think too, in 1984, there weren't a lot of bands that were doing piano and keys. You know, maybe like Motley Crue with Home Sweet Home had
Mhm.
piano, but no one in the band really played piano. It was always a lot of those 80s bands. It was two guitars, a bass, drums, and a singer. You know, you really didn't have that piano, drum, or piano and keys. So it was kind of interesting to see a new band come in with that, and I think that's what kind of really helped maybe push them through because they were a little different.
Mhm.
Uh, let's talk about the Runaway tour. So obviously at this time they were still an opening act. They opened up for ZZ Top, Kiss, and the Scorpions. I think that was it.
Mhm.
From April to November of '84. Uh, I think the video somewhere on YouTube. I've seen it a while ago, but the Madison Square Garden show. Did you
I've
see
listened to
that?
it. I've
Or the
listened to
audio?
it. The audio is crap, but you can hear that story that Richie tells in a 2009 interview where he talks about how his thing blew up, and then everybody
Yep.
was like, "Easy top." Yeah, you can hear the crowd
Yeah.
chant. Yep.
So for people that don't know, the story is that their first show at Madison Square Garden, which is this massive arena in New York City, one of the well-known arena, band got on stage. Rich's guitar wasn't working, and I think the amp blew, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
And so John gave Richie his guitar and amp, and John just sang. I think they started a song acoustic, and then they got into the regimen of the actual song.
Right.
That was kind of cool. So how about we dig into the songs?
Let's do it.
All right, first one's obviously Runaway. It's the very first single, and I explained the story behind it earlier. Released February of 1984. I think the date was the 12th, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in February of 1984. It
Mhm.
was written by John and George Karak. I think that's his name, Karak.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, it was a song that was on the WAPP. And then a lot of people don't realize this. Hugh not only did a lot on the debut album, but he did a lot on every album.
Mhm.
Alec wasn't quick enough to kind of get bass going and ideas and stuff. So Hugh actually wrote and recorded some of the bass, and Runaway was one of them. And I think what shines for me on this song is the piano, the intro, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what kind of shines for me on this song. Um, otherwise, I don't really see the hype with it. Me personally.
Well, it's very catchy. Although I will admit, I like the live version better, specifically the live version on the One Wild Night record. I feel the keys are better sounding on that. I hate the keys on the record that versus
Yeah,
the tone of the keys on the One Wild Night album.
yeah,
Because I think that recording was from like '85.
yeah.
Uh,
85
yeah,
on Symphony Tour. Yeah,
yeah,
I like the version on. They did it during the Crush tour when it was just John and David, and they did it acoustic. You know, like very nice and slow. You,
yeah.
you can see it on the Crush tour DVD, the
Mm-hmm.
way that they did that. Um, so, but I mean, it's not a bad song. It's good. Yeah, I can. It's definitely a good first single. I think it was the good. It was a good song to get them started.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's overrated in a way. It's a
Oh yeah.
great song, but you know, I'm more into the deep tracks, so maybe
Oh
that's
yeah.
where I'm coming. But I think this whole song is, you know, it's about, obviously it's about society and, you know, trying to escape the social norm and tired of not being heard, you know,
Mm-hmm.
essentially being an outcast. And I think the music video kind of explains, you know, like this teenage girl who is an outcast and she doesn't want to fall into society's ways. And yeah, but the music video was probably one of the cheesiest videos from the '80s,
Yeah, it was.
especially in the band's career. You
Yeah,
know,
I was gonna say, and the girl shoots fire out of her eyes. This could be like an X-Men spin-off or something. But
yeah. Even John has commented in videos about how cheesy that is. I think that was a director's daughter, the director's daughter in that
yeah.
video. So, and but what I did like about the video though, before let me back up, the way the band looked, they looked so cheesy and so. John was wearing these tight purple. The '80s at work. but like they looked so weird, and but you could tell how hungry they were for success. I think they were still trying to find the way that their stature was, the way they played, the way they stood, and you can sense that in the video.
Yeah. And John doesn't have his white microphone stand yet.
Exactly. Yes. 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 My favorite line of the song is a different line every night, guaranteed to blow your mind. I see you out on the street, call me for a wild time.
Yeah, that one's my favorite too.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Yeah.
You know what else I like about this song and the way that they've done it live lately, like on the last tour, was when you like John's like, take me back to 2005. No, take me back to 2000. No, take me
time machine.
Take me back to 1984. And then all of a sudden, David starts playing those keys. The keys, like I said, the keys is the best part of the song.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, you didn't really have a lot of songs that were piano and key driven, especially as an intro to a rock song. So that was kind of, I think, what stood out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
it definitely got everybody hungry for more Bon Jovi, especially like in Japan and stuff. I know
exactly.
Yeah.
I think they broke big at first, and it's weird. A lot of bands back then broke out in the '80s, or broke out in Japan before anywhere else. Kiss, Bon Jovi, Cheap Trick. Everyone like got big, and like Japan has good taste.
Yeah,
it takes America forever to get into a band.
And now the opposite's happening now. I mean, I could tell you about a lot of my friends are listening to a lot of Japanese and Korean music these days, right? So.
Well, what's that boy band that's from Japan? BST, BDS.
I think so. I'm not familiar with the bands, unfortunately, but
it's like a pop Japanese band. It has like 3 letters. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so next track is Roulette. It was written by John and Richie. This one's actually my favorite song on the album.
Same. Not kidding. I know it sounds like I'm just lying. No, I'm not kidding. This is my favorite one.
It's absolutely incredible. It was written by John and Richie. I think like one of the best parts of the song is the way that the intro starts. It kind of like fades in, and then you have that on guitar, and then John starts to sing a little bit. I'm singing "Shot Through the Heart" actually in my head.
So yeah, I was gonna say that the rest for Roulette's like
"Shot Through the Heart" my second favorite, so I was playing that. So back to Roulette. Still, I love the intro to the guitar in the song, and in the background vocals, I think that's Tico when it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought
that was John. I thought that was John saying it, but I guess it would be Tico.
It could be
Tico having a deep voice,
It could be John. I could be wrong. I thought it was Tico for a second because usually it's him. But you might be right. It might be John. Now that I'm thinking of it, it does kind of sound like John.
I was expecting Tico to sound like he did in the beginning of the Burning Bridges song, where he's like 1, 2, 3, like
that. You're probably right. It probably is John. Could even be Richie. It's so faded out. It's hard to tell. I think it's probably John or Richie. But yeah, I'll let you talk about the song and then I'll go into it.
Yeah, sure. So this is a song that I didn't really pick up on when I first heard the record back in 2010. It wasn't until about 2013 because I remember when I saw Bon Jovi twice on that tour, on the What About Now tour, and I saw him in February and he was playing some older stuff like Wild as the Wind. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna dive into their older stuff. So I started diving into the first album again, and I remember listening to Roulette and I'm like, how did I miss this song? This is bloody amazing. Like I must have heard it once and was like, oh, whatever. But it was just like it was like a gem on my phone. Like I didn't even know it was there, and I was like, this is a bloody amazing tune. And then I did some more research and looked at like their Circle tour stats. They played it in Hawaii, and I'm like, and now these days I'm like, John, please play some more, like play some old stuff.
The thing is, and you start at like the right time. So the Circle tour. Before the Circle tour started, I remember. Do you remember MySpace?
Oh, I was too young for MySpace. I was like, I
Okay.
didn't get Facebook until high school, and that was in 2010. And that was like around that time, MySpace was kind of like,
It might have even been Facebook, but so back in 2009, the band had posted what deep tracks would we want on a tour, and John's notorious for not ever playing anything from the first two albums
right.
except Runaway.
Yeah.
So they made the announcement that John was going to do stuff from the first two albums based on what songs everyone wanted to hear.
Hmm.
And Roulette was one of them. Get Ready, Shot Through the Heart, I believe, and
Yep.
then a few from 78 to 100.
Yeah. Tokyo
It
Road.
was Tokyo Road. It was very short lived. I think it only lasted like the first 3 weeks of the tour, and then John stopped doing all of
Yeah.
them. Which is a shame because, like you said, Roulette is so badass and it's so fucking good.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it's a shame that it's just like a forgotten song.
Yeah, it's a good thing John and I aren't like friends or not. I mean, I met him once at a Runaway tours, but I could imagine me arguing with him about which of his songs are good and which ones because my favorite's The Circle. And did you see his review of The Circle recently? Last year
Yeah,
during the pandemic, he's like, "Oh, half of these songs aren't that good anymore." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" You
yeah.
know?
The thing is, I think sometimes John can be his own worst critic. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
for
true.
example, look at Living on a Prayer,
Yeah, he
for
almost
example.
ditched that song.
That song may have never been released, and thanks to Richie, it got released. But
Yeah.
Edge of a Broken Heart is the same thing. Look, that was an outtake. I
Mhm.
think that would have been a massive hit,
I,
massive.
I if I could replace it with anything on Slippery, I think I'd probably okay, this is gonna be a very unpopular opinion. I'm not a big Never Say Goodbye fan. So I might
Really?
replace yeah. I'm no social disease. No, I like yeah, get rid of social disease.
Yeah, the social we're steering away, but social disease was such a weird song, and with how massive Sleeping When Wet is,
Yeah.
it's weird to have social disease. Social disease should have been an outtake. It's a good song, but it's not anything serious or
Yeah.
it's nothing I can listen to.
I
But
usually skip it. If I'm listening to Slippery, I'll just hit skip. Go right to the
yeah.
line.
So anyway, so I think the meaning behind this song is that it's pretty much just like a classic up uppity love song. All about love being a game. Love's a
Mhm.
triangle.
Yeah.
You one big circle per se.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
when I got this album as a kid, I was 8 years old when I got this album, and it's still my favorite lyric of the album.
Hmm.
Bet the black comes in red, crimes of passion roll my head. I need you, you want him, just to kill. We live in sin.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm saying about the whole love triangle thing.
Mhm.
I I I, I need you, you want him.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think it's just about love being a game. It's a cat and mouse kind of thing, and
Yeah.
um, and like we were talking about earlier, the Circle Tour. This was amazing live, and this is probably the one song that I would choose between the first two albums for them to play because it sounded so good live.
Yeah. Not only that, I could tell Richie loves playing a lot of these songs. Like when you watch those videos, he's really into it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think Richie truly loves these first two albums because
Mm.
it's very guitar driven
Oh
compared
yeah.
to most of the catalog.
Hmm.
All right, next track. She Don't Know Me, which was the second single released on May 22nd of 1984.
Hmm.
This is the only song of the entire band's catalog. This is the only song that is not written by John that's on a Bon Jovi album.
Hmm.
I believe it's written by Mark F. Sack. Let me double check that.
Yeah.
Yep, Mark F. Sack. Um, So I really like Tico's intro to this, the da 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 da, with the guitar coming in. I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, I don't think I would have chosen this to be a single though.
It's actually this one's actually one of my least favorite Bon Jovi songs of all time. Actually,
Oh
and luckily he
really?
didn't write it. This is like one of those ones I'll skip. Although
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I like the song. I think it's decent, but I would have picked it as a single. We're talking about how cheesy the Runaway video was. This was extra cheesy.
Oh, the
It was
video.
just
Oh God.
it made no freaking sense. Like I still don't understand the whole twin thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know. John in interviews has even made fun of the video. It makes no sense
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like just the way that he was walking, like in the second verse. I'm sure the girls loved it, but like, why is he fucking shirtless at 10 o'clock at night? And this girl's like here, there,
Yeah.
you know,
There could be
watching.
mosquitoes out, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, exactly. It just made no sense. But hey,
Yeah. There's that
not a
cheesy
good way
like
to
look. No, go ahead.
it's not a good way to represent the band. That's for sure. You know.
Right. I just remember
But
that cheesy thing at the end where he like looks at the camera like at the end when he sees the girl
oh
walking by or
yeah,
whatever. I remember watching that. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
yeah, it's so cheesy. And then like the gun thing at the end, she's like this, at at the end when he comes out of the bar, and she's like holding like a gun or
Okay.
something. I think that's the
It's
right.
been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's just anyway. So I think this whole obviously John didn't write it, but it's I think it's something that John would write. I think it's all about not being noticed by someone that
Mhm.
you like, and no matter how hard you try, you're pretty much invisible to them. It's kind of like liking a girl in school and she doesn't notice you, that kind
Mhm.
of thing. You
Yeah.
know, simple that it worked.
Yeah. We can all relate, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the second greatest thing about this song though is the band's vocals in the chorus. You know,
They
especially the
have
way
great
Dave.
vocal. Yeah.
What's that?
I said they have great backing vocals on this song. I will give it that.
Yeah. Do you? Oh, you don't like the song, so you probably don't have a favorite lyric.
I'll tell you what. I like that it sounds a bit like Only Lonely.
It does, doesn't it?
It's the same
Yeah.
notes, just faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the I dream of when she'll be mine. I dream of crossing that line and holding her so tender. Although I think the whole line and holding her so tender, I think that's so weird. Like, can you imagine going up to a girl and saying, "Hey, I want to hold you tender"?
Yeah. That's
Today's
yeah.
standards, you don't say that.
No.
That's
Yeah.
weird. I want to hold you so tender.
Yeah.
In John's defense, he didn't write the song, so
Yeah. That's why I give him like a free pass on this one.
yeah. All right, next track, "Shot Through the Heart," which is written by John and Jack Ponte. This is what I was talking about earlier, that slow faded
Yeah.
intro, and then the dun, 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 and, and then John starts to come in solo wise, vocally, and then what's the first line of it again? Would you
Dun, dun,
be
dun.
content to see me crying? Eventually as it moves on, you get the guitar and the drums,
Mhm.
and so I
Yeah.
like that. And the piano in the verses, I think the piano is something I really like listening to when I listen to the song, like in the verses.
Right. Yeah.
Overall, what do you like about this song?
This is one of the first songs I listened to or like consistently when I first tried out the album. Um, yeah, I like this one. It's I like when it gets pretty upbeat. Actually, this is a song I like to like screw around with my friends with who don't know Bon Jovi that much. When they go, "Hey Matt, play Shot Through the Heart," but they want me to play Bad Name. I go, "Okay, I'll play this one." They're like, "This isn't the one," and I'm like, "What you said? I'm just saying." you know.
I absolutely hate that,
Yeah.
and uh, because I grew up like that in high school, and people would be like, "I like the Shot Through the Heart song." I'm like, "Okay, you're like a deep track." They go, "No, I always hear it on the radio." I'm like, "Oh, you're thinking
Yeah.
differently."
Yeah.
So I always hated that double standard.
Right.
I like on Twitter. I don't. Do you follow me on Twitter?
No, just on Instagram.
Instagram. So on Twitter, I do these Bon Jovi polls every day. I've been doing it for the last year and a half,
Hmm.
and so I'll do which song do you like more? And so when I was doing the debut album, I had like Runaway up against Shot Through the Heart, and like
Hmm.
I had put in, like big letters. This is from the debut album, not You Go Love a Bad Name. People
Hmm.
still thought,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But
All the newbie fans.
yeah, um, I think the song's just pretty much like being heartbroken. That's
Hmm.
how I interpret it. Um, pretty much, it's I mean, honestly, it is kind of like a prelude to "You Could Love a Bad Name." You know, it's kind of like along that
Yeah.
line. I like the line. Didn't somebody somewhere say you're going to take the fall? You're heading for a fall. I gave you everything, and now here's the curtain call.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's a
know,
cool.
so yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one, "Love Lies," which was written by John and David Bryan. So a lot of people don't realize that David. I'm pretty sure I'm talking about that David wrote on this song too, and he was under the name David Rashbaum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before he changed his name before
Mm-hmm.
during 700. What's your take on the song?
This one has the best intro on the entire album, in my opinion. That piano intro is amazing.
Yeah, that's this is probably I wouldn't say I don't like it, I do, but it's probably my least favorite other than the piano. I really love the piano in the
Okay.
beginning. Um, the band's vocals in the chorus too is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The way that John kind of screams too is
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah. A lot of high notes on this one, kind of like at the end of Runaway.
And I think this is probably one of Richie's best guitar solos on this album.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very well put together, quite emotional.
Yeah, I think the song is all. I think it's just another, obviously a heartbreak song. You know, all about
Mhm.
obviously love lies, and
Yeah.
I take back for this being my least favorite. Now that I'm thinking of it, I think I enjoy it. I like the line "showed you my heart, left it unguarded, like a
Hmm.
thief in the night who stole it away." I think those are pretty cool lyrics.
Yeah, my favorite lyric is "Now you're gone, the pain goes on and on," and I forgot the one. It's something something through the shadows of the night, but I forgot the words. My bad.
Let's see here. Looking at the wrong song. Now you're gone, the pain goes on and on. I still hear you whispering to me through the shadows of the night.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it kicks into
brilliant.
the chorus, and that chorus is just like goddamn.
It's good.
Hmm.
Uh, Next one is Breakout, which is actually written by John and David again, I believe. Uh,
I actually
yeah.
did not know about that one. I knew David wrote Love Lies. I didn't know about Breakout.
No, there's two. I knew that. I thought there was two of them. Yeah, Love Lies and Breakout. Him
Mhm.
and David, John David wrote. Um, as a kid, this part always scared me because it starts out with Breakout,
Yeah,
and it's like it makes you jump,
yeah.
especially the way that Love Lies kind of ends. It kind of fades out, it
Hmm.
goes break out,
Breakout. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that always scared me as a kid. Still
Hmm.
scares,
Right.
but I think the piano, the drum intro with the whoa, I
Hmm.
like that.
I actually, to your comment about it scaring you, so sometimes when I used to work at a restaurant in the kitchen, we would have like the speaker, and I have my playlist, right, which is usually just a mix of everything I listen to. And I kid you not, like I was playing, it was on shuffle, and "Cardigan" was on by Taylor Swift. You know, that's a pretty somber, very quiet song, right? And then the next song was "Breakout," and like people were like, oh, they startled.
Yeah, jump you out of your seat.
Yeah.
I think John's vocals have a real drive in this song.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
let's see here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly I don't have too much to say. I think this song's all about. The whole album in general is all about like going through breakups and
Yeah.
like it's all about love. And I think this one right here is letting love, like having a girl that you are crushed over, want her to set you free, basically. Like let me
Yeah.
go, basically.
Hmm.
Like the line, "Take these chains from me. You held my heart ransom, set it free."
Yep. Yep.
But my favorite line is, "Promises made in the heat of the night. Those words were broken under bedroom lights." I thought that was a pretty
Yeah.
clever line.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite on this record, but this was one of those songs that I really, really liked when I first started listening to this album, and this one that kind of like slipped under the radar in recent years for me. But I liked how it sounded a bit like "Let It Rock," like the whoa, like that part kind of sounds a bit like
Oh yeah, it does.
the
Yeah,
whoa and "Let It Rock."
yeah. Sped up a little bit.
Yeah, but "Let It Rock" is to me, "Let It Rock's on like a whole other level compared to this, in my opinion.
Yeah. Burning for Love, which is it was technically a third single in some countries to kind of get the album to sell better. It was released in certain countries October 17th, 1984. Written by John and Richie. Um, so Roulette was written by, I'm trying to think of all the songs that were written by Richie. Runaway, Burning for Love, and Come Back and Get Ready. So
Gotcha.
I think a lot of Richie was written. I think Richie wrote a lot of this album, or a lot of this song, Burning for Love.
It
Uh,
shows.
I like Tico's Drive in this song,
Mm-hmm.
the way he drums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one of my favorites on the album too. Or yeah.
And then I like the back and I keep saying back and vocals, but they're so good. You know, like the burning love.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Um, I think this song's all about being desperate for love, no matter the cost.
Mm-hmm.
There's a line: "I've been lied to, you've been cheated, cried to, mistreated, watching you, you want action." You know, all those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's just let's just use each other because we both can get what we want from each other, basically. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah,
That's
I
how.
mean, this is like their first album. They're all young and
Yeah.
hormonal and stuff. So
What do you
say again. Sorry.
What do you think of the song?
Oh, this is one of my favorites. This one, you know what? When I first heard like the opening riff, it sounded a bit like a couple of riffs in the Deep Purple song "Highway Star." So like, and I love that song. I think the song. I think I think those songs are in the same key. So when I heard this song, I was like, yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
I like the like that intro.
Yeah.
Chorus is great. Um, yeah, just it's a great song all around. Not too hard to
Absolutely.
sing either. Like I try to sing and play like a lot of their songs. This one actually isn't that hard to sing.
Oh, really? I didn't think it would be, especially like the chorus.
It's like you know what? Like if you could sing, if someone can sing "Wanted Dead or Alive" pretty well, and that's like one of my songs that I play a lot. Yeah, like on my like I have a private Instagram page, obviously, but like I post videos of like I could do covers of songs, and sometimes I do Bon Jovi tunes. I haven't done this one yet, but sometimes I'll like sing it or record it like on a GarageBand track and just keep it for myself. And I think for me, it's fun to sing. And it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't like hurt my voice or nothing.
Yeah. I'll sing it later in the shower.
There you go.
Uh, the next one is "Come Back," written by John and Richie.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the edgy guitar sound in the verses.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the stand up for me. What do you think of this song?
This is one that I never go to, but if it comes on like while I'm listening to the record, I won't skip it. And then after I'm done, I'm like, yeah, that was a good tune. But like then I like go back to like acting like I never heard it before after I've done listening to it. And then I listen again, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one. You know,
Yeah,
its goodness
yeah,
always comes back to me, I guess. Not
yeah.
quite.
This would probably be my least favorite, but I do like it.
Yeah.
The way I interpret the song is, I think it's about being blind, being blindsided during while you're in love with someone,
Mm-hmm.
being cheated on, and in a way, it's kind of a heartbreak song because you still want her despite of what she's done to you.
Yeah.
The words come back. Um, I really like the line, "You play with words, play with love. It's just your silly way. I'm a fool because I need you by my side again."
Yeah.
Pretty much saying I'm ready to get hurt again because I'm
Mm-hmm.
madly in love. You know,
Yeah. It's like you forget all the bad stuff and you just remember the good. And you're like, oh no, I want you back either way. But
exactly. Final track is "Get Ready," which was written by John and Richie.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the third best song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this would be great as a show opener. You know, I play this during my workouts, and it pumps me up like crazy. I love it.
I wish they opened with it on the Circle Tour because I think the Circle Tour and the one in 2011 they did so many new I think they opened up with Captain Crash one time.
Yeah,
If they opened up with Get Ready, that would have been cool.
I know. I think it'd be so good. Um, I really like, and I think it's a great way to end the album too. You know, and it's one of those fun songs. It kind of breaks away from the entire album of it being, if you take out Runaway, this whole album's all about coming from a breakup and
Yeah.
and Get Ready is kind of like one of those fun songs that you just enjoy having fun, party song.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the bridge in the song, especially like after the guitar solo when John's like, "Ha, oh yeah," and then things come on over and over and over, and then the way he screams going into the final chorus, that's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be album closer. Sure.
Yeah, the way I let me look at the lyrics real quick. The way the lyrics, I think it's just about I'm the best for your love type thing. Like in the first verse, you need someone to make it last. No Romeos who love and leave you fast. They fade away. Tonight you're not going to be alone, making love on the telephone. Baby, baby, if you can hold on, I'm going to take you all the way tonight. I like him down and dirty, so hold on tight.
Yeah.
It's amazing the shift of tracks 2 to 8. How they're sappy love songs in a way, and then you go and Get Ready, and I like him down and dirty, so hold on tight.
Right. Yeah, I feel like this record would have definitely it would have been better if it had like more diverse subject matter, like even for a beginning of the band. I'm not expecting a We Weren't Born to Follow or a Blood in the Water on this record, obviously, but I mean, I think I like the album.
Yeah. But you know what though? Name a band that had a very successful first album. I mean, this album still sold quite a few copies, but name a band that released their first album and it was a huge success. Maybe nowadays, but before social media and stuff, this is just a stepping stone album. It was an album where they tested out different things, and there's a reason why John hates it.
Right. Yeah, I think U2's first album, Boy, did very well. I think too. Just like I know some bands kind of flopped on their first record, but like at least from the bands that I listened to, like Boy did pretty well. I think Led Zeppelin 1 did pretty well for them back in the 60s, but these are like one-off, like these are just like bands that eventually became so great,
Right. Yeah. So, obviously the band eventually found their sound, and, 7800 wasn't that much better, but it was, stepping stone to something common great.
I actually think the debut is better than 7800, actually.
Really? See, I was going to ask you. I think the 7800 album is a little better than the debut.
Yeah, it's just because I think I like I like fewer, like the songs that I do like on 7800 I like more than most of the ones on this one, but there's only like a few. Like I love Hardest Part Is the Night and Tokyo Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine would be probably The Hardest Part Is the Night, or no, Price of Love.
Yeah, I said I don't know. I don't dislike that song, but that one I've never really got into. But who knows? Maybe in the future.
There's a lot of the same Ritchie techniques on that album, though. I always thought debut in 7800 was very heavy Ritchie, which is great.
Yep.
And you could tell a lot of the same guitar sounds.
Yeah. But
well, anyway, don't hang up. I'm going to end the recording. But I had a blast chatting with you about this album.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on. I hope you stay safe. I'm going to end the recording, so don't hang up just yet, okay?
All right.
All right. Thanks, buddy.